Hello Fam Bam, welcome to today's episode. Today I'm going to talk to you about tax debt. And yeah, I sort of fucked up. So we've been doing this thing here on YouTube for a really long time. And back in the day, it was really fun to do this and coincide it with traveling and doing our fitness. But at some point, we knew we were going to have to start building business. So in 2015, we started building the Grateful Gordons media company, which I actually still owe you guys an explanation because so many of you guys ask what I actually do for work. But I grew my company from 2015, and in 2016, it grew really, really fast. And it was so exciting and so fun. We were making good money, and we were putting a lot of the money back into the business and trying to just level up everything around us. I had a PR firm, I had a full-time employee, I had assistants, I had nannies. We had everything going for us, trying to do as much as we possibly could do. And it was a great learning experience to be able to just see how quickly things could move and how to utilize help and put those things in order, but at the same time to see how sloppy and how crazy and overwhelming things could get. And so by the end of 2016, our business had literally grown too fast or beyond what I had prepared for, beyond my foresight, my capacity, and my own knowledge, my own wisdom. And this is a really hard topic for me to share because 2016 is something that I still deal with every single day right now. And basically what happened in 2016 was I had two pretty big clients pull out early, 2 months early. And that was worth like tens of thousands of dollars to me. And because I did not have enough of a buffer within the business financially, I had to pay for my expenditures like my employees, my PR firm, and everything that I had rolling out of my own pocket. And I had to pay it out of my own personal account, draining my savings and my resources. On top of it, when 2017 rolled around and our taxes came around, I owed tens of thousands of dollars more in taxes. Stuff that I didn't prepare for, stuff that I didn't have in working order. I did not have my LLC set up, so I was paying all of this as self-employment tax, and I just did not take the time to prepare myself and think about, what if something like this happens? What if one of us gets sick and we have a big hospital bill? What if the clients pull out early? What if something happens bigger like the tax debt or we get sued? Like, I didn't just stop and think, and I was just so motivated and sort of money success hungry to like continue to grow and build as fast as possible, but I didn't have all my ducks in order. And so like I'll cry thinking about it. It was the hardest thing for me to have to face. And I did some videos back in early 2017 where I talked about how I questioned whether or not it was worth it. I questioned whether or not money could buy happiness. I spent all these years getting out of debt, then all these years building a successful company for just one quick blow within a few months to just shatter sort of all that work and effort that I had put into building this thing. Now, essentially at the end of the day, I don't feel like it was shattered or waste or a loss because there's always lessons to be learned. But I will say this was the hardest thing that I've had to face. There's definitely been more traumatizing or like messed up things that have happened in my life. At the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. But this one was hard for me to face because there was so much identity, ego, and want, desire that I had to stop and face and question. So I thought I would share with you guys this story, because I just want to be more transparent with you guys. I want you guys to know that not everything's perfect and that it is so important to accept your adversities, your challenges, your mistakes, your failures. It is part of growing, and it is part of what allows us to become happy, to become the people that we are. It's not a perfect journey. In fact, it's about falling on your face over and over and over again and trying to recalibrate and redefine what it takes for you to get back up and to do it better next time. So that's number one. Number two, I just want to be honest with you guys, and it helps me to feel free and like forgive myself and find acceptance for myself to just share that with you. And number 3, because there are a lot of good lessons to learn. So I want to share these lessons with you. The first one is, for me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to put success or money at the priority of your days of your life, period. It's all about balance. It's not to say that success and money are bad. I don't think, in my perspective, I'm not about to, get off the money bandwagon. I really enjoy business building. But I had invested so much of my time and my energy for 2 years. 2 years, my kids, my husband, we sacrificed a lot of time together to build this thing. And I was building it without even questioning my purpose for building it, other than it just felt good to be successful and to be bringing all this money in. It was kind of like an egoic, power hungry type thing to just be successful. And I had to question in my mind, because I always thought when I was younger I would be this successful business entrepreneur. But I had to stop and actually question why. What did I think I was going to get out of that? And I didn't realize really that I hadn't stopped to question that to begin with, other than that was just my storyline and I was trying to fulfill it. So I'm not saying don't be an entrepreneur, don't build business, but keep in mind your balance and make sure your priorities are in the correct order. Number 2, know your shit. The more money, more problems quote is true, because the more privilege or anything you have in life requires more responsibility. The more fine-tuned, refined, and centralized, dense sort of privileges that you expect to reap in your life requires a massive amount of responsibility and understanding the consequences that go with that. So beware of what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for, right? We see this in lotto winners all the time. They think if I just had more money, all my problems will be gone. And in fact, most lottery winners within 5 years end up dead or broke because they don't know how to handle that much responsibility and the consequences that are tied to it. This doesn't mean don't strive for more money, but what happened after this occurred was I said, okay, life, God, I get it. I don't have to be in a rush. I can be patient and learn how to fall and learn from those failures and falls and grow and get stronger on my journey, and not have it be about the destination, not be in a rush to get somewhere just so I could accomplish something. That it's about the process of refinement and growth. It's not about the destination. And what's funny is when you see people who really can handle their stuff at the ultimate destination, they don't view money or privileges or resources similarly to we do. We put it in this pedestal, like it's this thing that's gonna make us happy. It's this ultimate holy grail of life. But it's so not the case. It's actually the process of that pursuit to have the capacity to be the person that you need to be in order to reap those kinds of fruits of your labor. That is what makes it so rewarding. And when you get those fruits without putting in the effort that it takes to create a solid foundation to hold on to and really care for and cultivate that type of reward, you lose it just as quickly as it comes. So number 3, always save. I think part of what helped me was having a little bit of savings, but at the same time, we did not prioritize those savings at that time. And it's just one of those things that if you're gonna neglect your present, we're always talking about the present and not neglecting it, but I really believe that it is about past, present, and future, and being responsible for all 3 and having balance in those 3. And we focus a lot on living in the present because too much of us are concerned about the future and still griping about the past, and that's no way to live. We only exist in the present, but the past is important because you learn from it. The present is where you make all those changes and where you interact and receive all the changes that you've made in the past. This is life, but then you still have to plan and take action for the future. So they have this very intimate relationship that coincides with one another and affect one another very intimately. So don't neglect your future. Don't neglect, hey, what knowledge and what resources do I need to have for this circumstance? What kind of buffer savings do I need to have just in case? And we talk about minimalism, and getting rid of just in case items, those just in case items don't really justify us holding on to them, because it's not life or death. It's not quality of life or quality of being and purpose. But when it comes to building your business, if it's going to affect your mental and physical health, you guys know that this channel is about energy, resources, and mindset. So if it's going to affect your mindset negatively, it's going to affect your resources negatively, or your energy and health negatively, then that is something that you need to be really aware of, being fully accepting and as prepared as possible, just in case. And of course, there's no perfect way to go about that, but I had this all-in mentality. I'm going to go all in because I have just such severe optimism. So if you're gonna go all in, just be 100% aware of what risks you're taking and if it's worth it to you or not to follow through with the consequences of that risk at its highest potential. Lastly, simplify. Keep it simple. If there's one thing that people get overwhelmed with in business or in lifestyles, like when they start to level up, they start to complicate things. I did this with my business and it felt virtuous, like it felt right. Like I wasn't going on massive shopping sprees or like trying to buy a house. Like I thought I was doing the right thing, but I was overcomplicating and still overspending for business expenses, be it trainings, my PR firm, extra propping and furniture and stuff that I thought would help level up my company. And it brings me down to the same thing. Number one, it just wasn't worth it. Part of the reason it wasn't worth it was because I came out of alignment with who I was and what my purpose was. I started to compromise my approach and what I believed in, what made me me, which is the core of my business, in order to just make more money or to be more successful. And it ended up draining me so bad. Like it drained me not only of my financial resources and the amount of time that I had invested in it, but even till today, I'm still paying for it. It's still something I have to take care of. It's not done yet. And I've had a lot of growing between then and now that I've had to do to kind of reset everything and make sure that that foundation was done right last year in 2017, now in 2018. And now that that foundation has been relaid, we've had to revisit and sort of uproot a lot of stuff and like lay that foundation back down again. I'm still taking care of the financial deficit that had occurred in 2016. So it's kind of a weird thing to have like 2017, 2018 set straight, but I'm still facing this 2016. And it's still been a growing journey to have to own up to that and to have to live with that every single day until it gets done. So I hope you guys get a lot out of this video. Whew. It's a tough topic for me. And it's super dense. Like I could probably talk about this all day, about everything I've learned and everything that goes into it and what I would do differently and how, you know, things are going. But just know that we do make mistakes, and the whole point of mistakes and failures is to learn from them, learn to be better. And I always tell my kids, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to forget. It's okay to have accidents. It's okay to think you're doing something right and realize that you were doing it from the wrong perspective, as long as you learn from it and you take that learning and you grow and you make an attempt to take actions to change. So if you guys are starting a business, or you messed up, or you had a bad business deal with a bad partner, or you overspent, took out a business loan, and now you don't want to be in the business that you did that in, there's all different ways of learning. And almost every single one of my business mentors who are very successful I've talked to have said that they've had some sort of weird business debt that they've had to deal with. So I try to say those things to make myself feel better, but it still feels like I hate debt. And I shouldn't say hate. I very, very much don't feel comfortable with the idea of debt. So I just wanted to share this with you guys and let you guys know that it's okay. Learn from it, grow from it, use it as a space for refinement. And I hope you guys get a lot of value out of me sharing this story with you. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Ciao.